Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the TechVine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
Hello, everybody. Here we are.
Hey, Marka.
Who is here? Here's some ghosts.
Some ghosts of holidays past.
Ah,
That's right.
love it. I was going to ask that. Which ghost are you? From the past, the present, or the future?
In between. Can't figure it out.
You can't figure it out. You're lost in space and time.
I'm in a parallel universe,
Ah,
so I'm present, but also it's one of the part of the multiverse.
tell us about it. Is it better or just different than the one you know?
I'm actually coming from the timeline that COVID didn't actually escape.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's
That's a
a
good
pretty
one.
cool timeline. Yeah.
I tend to forget about that sometimes. Like I watch a movie or something, and I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute! They're in an airport. They're not wearing masks. What the hell? That's dangerous." And that's how brainwashed I am with this thing.
Is it in a bottle with a cap on it?
It is. It's like, at the end of Contagion when they like take the virus and they put it in the deep freeze and then it just sits there for eternity. Although I suppose it could be a sequel.
Exactly. I was like, "That's no better setting than that." It's like when they get the bad guy, they put it in jail, and it's like the super perfect jail, and then they're not escape from it.
So when Star Wars came out, I think I was like 12 or 13, so I was pretty young, and I was at that stage when I hadn't learned all the tricks yet. And my dad took me to go see Star Wars, and when Darth Vader's spinning out in the pod, my father just goes, "Sequel." And I was like, "How did he know?"
And at that time, was that many sequel at that time already? Because I feel like the sequel time started like in the 80s.
I think you're right. I think Star Wars, because that was part of the big deal, was George Lucas said, "Oh, this is episode 4, because there's like the beginning and the end, and there's 3 in this middle part." And we were all like,
You kind of knew it was a trilogy already.
yeah,
So, with a very weird timeline, which I still try to figure it out.
yeah.
It's all figured out.
Yeah. Sean, are you a Star Wars fan? Are you?
I am.
Yeah. Or are you more a Trekkie?
No, definitely Star Wars over Trek.
There you go.
Does
Diana,
it
how about you?
does it have to be one or the other? Well, so I was
I don't
never.
think so.
I mean, I enjoyed Star Trek. I admit that, like the Triffids were that. No, oh, no, I don't remember those little fuzzy things. I really liked them. Tribbles.
Diana
Tribbles.
likes fuzzy things. Okay, we all do.
Tribbles. I did. I liked them. I liked, I thought James Tiberius Kirk was a pretty cool captain. I enjoyed Chekhov's navigation. I was okay with Star Trek, and it's just Star Wars is very different. Like, it seems weird to me when people have to say, "Well, I like one or the other." It's like when people find out that we have dogs and cats, they're like, "How can they coexist? And don't you like one more than the other?" And it's like, no, they're just different.
We go back to it's easy to get black and white and good and bad and nothing in between. It's an easy life if you.
Yeah.
I like that you have cats and dogs.
But
So when it rains, you can actually say it rains cats and dogs.
That's true, because it just rains and has. Although today, I got to say, it was pretty fun because we're off. So we're off today, and we're spending time on the couch reading and watching some TV. And my dog came up on the couch and she wanted to sit next to me, but one of my cats was already in my lap, and she just started slapping Nora. Just slapping her. She was doing like a 2-paw slap. I had to restrain her. She's this little 5-pound cat, and Nora's like a 50-pound dog. But I had to rein her in because she was getting a little aggressive there.
Incident free, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah. She didn't have claws out or anything. So there was it was more, I think it hurts Nora's feelings. It doesn't physically hurt her, but you can tell just emotionally, she doesn't like getting slapped by a cat.
Yeah. I love how we always talk a little bit about movies and TV shows, and then a little bit of animals and cats and dogs. It's kind of like our signature, and then we dive into technology. But I have this feeling today, Sean, from the name that we have picked, the nicknames here, that we're probably going to talk about holiday stuff. I don't know.
No.
What's your feeling about it? Why should we anyway? It's not that we're near the holiday or anything.
We're not.
Yeah, and I always like to be careful, right? I mean, not everybody. It's celebrating Christmas, but we do refer to the spirit of the year as a holiday. I think worldwide there is something for everyone, a little bit earlier, a little bit after. So whatever you celebrate, we want to share that cheer, I guess. We'll try.
Exactly. The season of lights, right? As we go through the winter solstice in this hemisphere, and we have the shortest day of the year. Yeah, there are many celebrations of light.
Yep, that's true. And I've spent Christmas in Florida. It doesn't really feel like Christmas, or actually I spent it down in Paraguay as well, which is really cool and really pretty hot too. So everybody has different ways to celebrate, and they're all good. They're all
exactly.
good. Yeah,
exactly.
That one.
Except for one. which one is the wrong way to celebrate?
I can't remember. When I pop out of the ghost of past, present, or future, I'll figure it out.
Tell us which way is the wrong way to celebrate.
I feel like Sean is already started with a eggnog, or I don't know. What kind of clone do you have here, Sean? Is it drunk Sean?
I think that's the one.
All right, then you know what? I'll let you the microphone. You drive. Bring us wherever you want to go.
Well, I think we stick with tradition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, mine has to do, as you can imagine, with the Big Bang. And it's about a telescope, a very big telescope. But I also had a sort of one of my favorite Big Bang stories happened at the RSA conference, which is top of mind now, because for anybody that's in security that's listening, that as of yesterday, because we're right before the 25th, but as of yesterday, I think it was December 22nd. Unfortunately, RSA had to postpone from its planned February time.
Yep, we got the memo.
So for those of us that attend and wait every year, it was a little bit disappointing to find out. But one of my favorite times at RSA ever was when Simon Singh, who's an incredible physicist from the UK and has written such great books that I highly recommend, as Mathematics and the Simpsons, where he goes through the entire Simpsons series and pulls out all of the math Easter eggs. Apparently, there are a number of mathematicians who write, comic mathematicians who write for the Simpsons. So he pulls out a lot of really great math Easter eggs that are hidden throughout the Simpsons. He's also very well known for writing the Code Book, which is an incredible history of cryptography. And he also wrote a book called The Big Bang, which is about the origins of the universe, and again, he just has this incredible way of describing things that feel very accessible, even though they're tough math. math or science. And actually, when I got to meet him luckily at one point. And when I met him, I was talking to him about calculus because, his math books. And I said, calculus, I can't figure it out. I just don't understand it. And there was just look of brokenheartedness on his face where he was like, you haven't had the right teacher. He just loves math so much. So he was there to talk about math and the Big Bang at RSA one year. And I think that RSA had signed him up to be a keynote speaker. Again, big security conference for anybody who doesn't go to RSA. They had signed him up because of the code book, which was the history of cryptography. And he gets up there because he had just written the Big Bang book. And he starts talking about how the universe was created, which kind of wasn't the target audience for a keynote at RSA. So I absolutely loved it, but I kind of felt for Simon Singh because I don't think that he had his core audience that day. But if you were interested in the Big Bang, it's a great book and a great read on how things got started. And if he was going to be writing it in the next 6 months or year, I bet it would be significantly different or would have significantly new updates and information about what actually happened in the Big Bang, because on the 25th of December, so 2 days from now, a $10 billion telescope called the James Webb Space Telescope is going to be launched into space. It's launching from French Guiana on the northeast shoulder of South America. And it's going to go up into space and travel. It's going to go a million miles from Earth, which is 4 times farther than the moon is from us. It'll take about 29 days to get into the unique orbit, and then it's going to get out there. It's folded up on itself right now, so it's sort of this little compact package that's going to go up in an Ariane 5 rocket. But as it goes out past the Earth's gravity, it's going to start opening up into the largest telescope ever built, I believe, from what I'm reading. So it's going to be this huge telescope. It rivals the Hubble telescope, and it's doing this very important thing around the Big Bang, which is that Hubble was able to get us to peer into the past. So speaking of the timeline and Ghost of Christmas Past, I'm not quite sure how telescopes, I'm obviously not an astronomer, but these telescopes can see, because of the way that light travels in the time, they can essentially see back in time, but you need a stronger telescope to see farther back. So Hubble was able to give us what the universe looked like about 13.4 billion years ago, when the galaxy was just kind of starting. But what we're going to see with the Webb Space Telescope is back 13.7 billion years. And those 300 million years are really key to understanding additional information about what happened in the Big Bang, what the galaxy looked like, and how it changed during those 300 million years past where we were able to see with the Hubble. So Big Bang, again, Simon Singh's going to be going to update his book. He's hopefully going to have a whole lot of new information, because this telescope is going to be even going farther back than we saw even with the Hubble. And hopefully it will be focused. I think there was a problem with the Hubble when it first got out there, right? That they had to refocus.
Well, I was going to go with a little trivia here, because it's going to be so far in what they call the Lagrange point, where the gravity, it's not affecting it. That's why it's able to stay there. It's pulled equally from the sun and the Earth gravity and the moon. And I mean, there is a kind of a triangulation going on there. But if something goes wrong, we can't send the space shuttle to fix it like we did with the Hubble. So it's a big bet, because it's going to be really, really, really far, which, as you said, it allow us to see much more far away in time, and it's going to be an infrared telescope,
yes,
by the way. So, but that's I think a lot of crossing fingers, because it's expensive. It's incredibly expensive, this thing.
Yeah, loads of parts on that, I would imagine. Tons of technology, not just getting it up there and the telescope itself, but being able to extract the data and tune it or focus it if you need to, right? That kind of stuff.
And the mirror, this the largest mirror that's ever been launched. It's apparently covered in a layer of gold that's 200 times thinner than a human hair, and that's what allows it to see in the infrared and through the space dust, which is amazing.
It is all amazing. I've been reading
Does
about
it have windshield wipers?
Does it rain in space?
I don't know.
Isn't that thing called dust, like solar dust? So
space dust,
space mud.
Now I'm just thinking, the guy, the Hitchhiker Galaxy, a guide to the universe, thinking there'll be some alien civilization that maybe go around cleaning windshield at the traffic lights.
And then they ask for a tip after.
Exactly. Making a living in space.
So is there, Marco, you study this. Is there something?
I wouldn't say I study it, but I like to read about it.
We go back to the Big Bang and we talk about the Big Bang, and now I guess we're going to have even more information about what happened and what happened right after it. But what was there before the Big Bang?
This is a question for philosophers, and I think that's exactly
small sparkle. Just small sparkle.
Oh, okay.
The other end of the fuse, maybe. I don't know.
It's amazing how ignorance is bliss sometimes, oftentimes. But then we need to know, right? And we explore, and we ask questions, and we realize we're kind of following the thread to understanding, I don't know, maybe the meaning of life. And again, I go back to the Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are like, okay, great, there is a Big Bang, which show me that you're proving the existence of God, because if nothing was before the Big Bang, who created the Big Bang? Which is exactly a question that you have. So there are many different theories. And again, don't quote me as a professor of space physics or anything, but some are talking about expansion and contraction of the universe. Some others say that there are other parallel universe where this universe came. But it's just, every time I think about it, I'm like, it's going to be the mystery of life and everything.
And everything.
I think at a certain point, you got to believe what you want to believe. I don't know how far back you can go. And that's easy to mislead and use the information to justify pretty much anything you believe in. I'm simplifying it.
We're going to crowdsource that through metaverse, AR, and VR stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to work together to figure it out.
Yep. So we can live through it.
Put on your goggles.
Watch it unfold in real time, or not. I guess not real time, because it takes millions of years. So we're gonna have to speed that up so people can experience the Big Bang in VR.
And about the unfolding part, if I remember well, when I saw some simulation, it really looks, and I think it was studied as an origami, so that it can be all packed in a vector that bring it to outside of the atmosphere, and then being able to just unfold into this
shape of a duck.
Yeah, or a unicorn.
or a galaxy.
Or a galaxy itself. Yeah.
Or a telescope.
It's really, I wonder if other species think about it, because it seems like the human species really wants to figure stuff out. We want to understand what the shadows are, and so let's make a bigger telescope and see if we can go even farther back. I wonder if other species get so obsessed with trying to understand the physical world around us, not just our planet, but the galaxy and the universe. I wonder if they wonder about that, or if we're one of the only, because we don't know. I mean, they might be thinking that way, dogs and cats, and
we don't know.
Or is it just humans?
We don't know. You mentioned the
Giraffes
Simpsons.
think about it all the time.
Who?
Giraffes. Giraffes.
Giraffes.
They do think about the
Yeah.
meaning of life and
They do.
the origin of the
They're
universe.
closer to the
Exactly.
heavens too.
Exactly.
Yeah, when they do chew on those trees, they look like they're very pensive. So maybe
What?
they know more than what we think.
I think so. I think that there's a lot going on in
Or
giraffe.
those two little antennas. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what kind of signals are they getting into? Yeah, I honestly don't see anything negative about this. Although I know that a lot of people, again and again, we bring this up, think that we should invest that money in doing something for the planet instead of going all the way up there and investing billions of dollars. But I keep saying that we do this in the interest of the planet and knowing ourselves. So I support that. And I don't know what do you guys think?
Well, what is it? Was it 10? Yeah, 10 billion, which I realize that through one lens, saying 10 billion, it's not that much. Sounds ridiculous because it's obviously a huge, huge amount of money. But when you look at all the money that we do invest in programs, like the arts and science, that I think that 10 billion to be able to go back this extra 300 million years and maybe learn even more about the origin of where we live, this galaxy that we live in. I think that could be argued as money well spent.
It's only worth it if we can get to 400 million years back. And it's not worth it.
Wasn't Elon Musk was paying this year more than that in taxes alone? So sure, was it like
Wait, he's not one of those ones that doesn't pay a lot of taxes?
No, I guess he ended up having to sell a lot of stock on Tesla just to pay taxes. I don't feel sorry about it because it probably has so much more than that. But I don't know. If you put it in perspective, and then you look at, I don't know, I don't want to get polemic here, but the money that is now they're finding out that is being taken by the COVID fund, we're talking about billions of dollars that have been stolen.
Yeah.
So are we bitching about that? About doing something good for humanity? I'd rather spend it into a telescope like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Not getting political, but yeah, the reading about some of the fraud that went on with the fund,
it's sick.
Come on, people. There are people. Some small businesses, some family really needed that money, and then the folks that didn't need it and just fraudulently were, well, I can get it, and did the money grab. That's just very depressing.
Yep, for sure. But you know what is going to help us?
Uplifting conversation here.
What then?
It's a very uplifting conversation.
No. You gotta be objective. That's why we're doing this. I don't think people are expecting us just to be like all glitters and shiny lights. I mean, we gotta make some points, and then all of a sudden we go back and ask big question like, where is Santa or the Delph, which I'm assuming has to do something with with the elf, which by the way is one of our favorite Christmas movie, together with like Home Alone and others.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, Carol loves that one. It's like we already seen it already this year, so I don't think it's the last time.
do you know why candy canes were invented?
No.
In addition to being one of Elf's 4 food groups.
Yeah.
Like candy corn.
Like syrup and stuff. Yeah. No. Why?
They were clear, like peppermint sticks that were developed, I think it was in Germany, to keep the children quiet during church. And then there was concern about, well, you're giving candy to kids and there's nothing really religious about it. So they put the hook on the top. So it would be like the shepherd's cane. Yeah.
So, look at that. That's a great trivia for the holiday. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. And they added glue so that they can shut them up.
To keep their mouths.
Make it really, really sugary so that the lips will just stick one to another. I like it.
The sugar would hype them up, you'd think. But
well, that's why they're made with mint.
I guess they're home at that point. So
yeah,
it's not the
I think
The
stuff got
hibernation's
sugary
problem.
later on in as we were progressing into discover how addictive sugar is. But yeah, I like that story. So yeah, one of the four food groups. So Sean, tell me about this
Does
delf.
I'm just wondering, is it only white and red, or is green okay? What about
I think green
multicolor?
is okay.
What about blue and
I've
yellow in
seen
them?
green. I think you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You just add a very very bad chemical, that color colorant, and you
To
do whatever you
color.
want.
Yeah, I agree. I like, just like I think whatever, decorating color schemes you want to be doing for your holiday celebration. I think that if you want your candy in different colors, then sure. I mean, why not? I mean, if you want it traditional, sure, the red and the white, but purple candy canes, why not?
That
Yes.
the red Santa that we all know was a big advertisement stunt that created then the image of Santa to be like this. But I think the original Santa, which wasn't even too nice from what I understand from the Nordic mythology, it would like take bad kids away from the family. So it's kind of like, like the Grimm stories and the Grimm brothers stories. But I think it was originally red. And then when advertisements started coming up, I believe it was Coca-Cola that started using this jolly Santa in then that's when it become what we believe it is now. And here we are.
And then they created Bad Santa.
And
That's right. Then we got Bad Santa.
which is, from what I understand, one of your favorite movies.
It's right up there.
There you go.
There you go. A peek inside my head.
Is that why I like the elf and you like the delf? Is that the opposite of the elf? What is it?
The anti-elf. So Delph, it's nothing that you're thinking about. But
Of course.
so I'll draw some dots here. So there's the I Love New York taxi display on Fifth Avenue. That's my avatar. It's part of the holiday series that they put up. The taxis are to deliver people, right? Get people moving around. My tech is around bringing stuff around to people. And I think that a lot of people, I don't know how many, I don't know if two of you expect, you place an order and you expect it to show up like immediately. 2 days, 1 day, 2 hours, whatever the time frame is. There's one company, I'm not going to give them a name drop here. One company has a huge infrastructure to make that happen. And they kind of stranglehold smaller retailers that want that capability of getting their stuff in the hands of their consumers quickly and on time and without incident. And so they offer that platform to get stuff around. But the question is, what else can we do with that? So there's cross-country, international deliveries, local deliveries. There's, in this article, it's from the BBC, and it's connected to getting gifts around this time frame to people and the logistics required to make that happen in time for a special day, right? There's talk of drones, but there's only pilots for that. Clearly, the drone technology, once it gets through any of the regulatory issues involved, might be limited to hyper-local things. I don't know how far they can travel with loads of goods on them or in them, hanging from them, whatever. And then there's talk of other companies besides this big behemoth creating platforms to manage trucks and carts. And Marco, I remember a while back, I don't know if we talked about it on this show, but the little bot cart that you saw near your house delivering stuff.
That was
right?
so cute.
But there's this other technology as part of the article, and that's what I wanted to focus on. And it's less about the distribution, though it connects to it in that there's a company that's working with manufacturers distributed around the globe to actually create the stuff locally. So if somebody from the UK in this example wants to buy something, which direction? Somebody in Australia wants to buy something that's sold by somebody in the UK. There could be a manufacturer in Australia that actually produces and then delivers that item locally. So it cuts down on the shipping costs and all the other stuff. So two things that I wanted to kind of touch on is, are we expecting too much as a society for immediate satisfaction with things, and how can we deliver that in a sustainable way using technologies such as this one, where you're actually creating it locally instead of shipping it all over the place? And I don't know, thoughts on drones or big behemoths controlling the infrastructure. So I'll leave it there.
So I actually, do you remember Cosmo?
Cosmo.
Kozmo. No.
TV show?
Seinfeld? No.
Cosmo.com, Kozmo. It was around the very late late 90s, right there, very early oddities. And I mean, it was amazing. If you lived in one of the cities, I think it was like New York, Los Angeles, Boston, Atlanta. But if you lived in one of the cities, I lived in Boston at the time, they would deliver pretty much anything you wanted within an hour, which was incredible. I think they kind of went out of business partly because their model was a little bit zany. Like if you wanted a stick of gum, you could order it, and somebody would deliver it in an hour. I think at the very end,
got carried away with the promise.
yeah, but they were starting to build distribution centers, and it was really here 20 plus years ago. And I mean, it was great. It was really nice to be able to have things very quickly. And in cities, people were using bikes. They were walking to do deliveries just in their own area, and they would use public transportation. So it was kind of nice because it was early gig economy stuff, but people didn't have to be part of a big, the big monolith. They could be basically jobbers and say, yeah, I'll take that. So sort of like TaskRabbit equivalent and do things, which I thought was really very, very cool. I like this other idea too, of also bringing in, what if we can start making things close by? Like, I mean, I don't know if it's like 3D printing or things like that, or if it was sort of like, then I start thinking about, bartering, and could we bring Etsy? I like the idea of having services that maybe obviously can't do everything that the big platforms with the big distribution centers can, especially if you buy a national grocery store that becomes a huge distribution network for you on top of what you have. But I love this idea of having the ability to bring back people getting things pretty quickly, but giving jobs for local people, and maybe even creating an opportunity to buy things that you couldn't buy from a big platform, I guess, unique handmade things.
Yeah, because the other thing that comes to mind as I'm thinking about it, though, is that somebody wants something fast. Maybe they have to pick a brand from the behemoth that can deliver fast, and you kind of leave the small fry in the dust.
Yeah.
Right. If they don't have the ability to produce and deliver immediately. I'm just wondering if we kind of in the future world, are we going to end up with stuff that's the same from everywhere, or will we have to pay more for the boutique items that we really want?
I'm just here thinking that we could do 10 panels on this subject, and because there is so many different aspects, and you kind of bring many of them up. There is the distribution, the logistics, the communication, the way that we want things fast, and it kind of make me think of, why do we want things fast? It kind of started with information sharing, right? So I'm thinking, we had the delivery of the mail, and then we need it faster. So instead of maybe carriages, we start using the Pony Express. And it was more expensive, but extremely faster. And then we got the telegraph. And then from there, we got, things like, the internet and now drone, all the things you said. And now we're like, I don't know you, but sometimes I feel guilty by saying this, but I've picked an object about another on Amazon just because one will get here earlier. And maybe I didn't really need it the next day. I could have easily waited freaking 2 weeks. It's just this idea of, like, Sean, what you said is, I want it all, I want it now, right? And I'm ready to pay even more money for that. So maybe
is it just because we don't think about it? There's two parts, right? We're either not planning, or we're just not thinking, and we just act. And then
mostly
there's a combination of those two.
There is that I don't know, quick. What's the word in English? Like fast, not satisfaction. I'm blocking on. There's actually a word that's like immediate return.
Instant gratification.
There you go.
Yeah.
Instant gratification. Sorry, that's what I meant. Thank you. And sometimes it goes against quality. My grandfather used to say, things well done and done fast, they don't go together. And I'm telling you things like the thoughts from 40, 50 years ago. And it's kind of right. I don't know. The email, what about the time we used to wait weeks to get a letter back? And now we're like, hey, I just sent you an email. Yeah, I know. Why did you send me a text? You already sent me a fucking email. So it's kind of like everything is immediate now. And then there is the fact that you said, Sean, about creating opportunity all over. But I love that. Like, what if you can share the way, the patent to do something, and you reproduce it on a 3D printer or whatever process, and you just give the way to do it to local business. So you cut all this infrastructure of networking, and that we see very clearly now during the pandemic that, I was listening to NPR yesterday on how Santa's delivery it's screwed up because of the pandemic. Like, Nike has companies in Vietnam, and so there was COVID cases, so they are behind production, and so their goods cost more, or they're not going to arrive for Christmas. And why not be able to build it somewhere else as well? Big questions.
Yeah, they are. And it's interesting too, because there's the building something fast or making something fast versus delivering it fast. And once something's ready to go, I could see people wanting to have it be delivered fairly quickly. Although sometimes if it's a very unique thing that's been built or created, there may be only a couple of them. So they're not at every distribution center on the planet, so that you're not within that like 1 hour delivery zone or 4 hours or 24 hours, whatever, where you live. And so it's kind of two things, right? Like, how quickly do we want things to arrive once they've been created? But then also, do we want to have something that's been built very quickly rather than something that took a long time to build? And then I also think about a third aspect of this, which is that despite all of the infinite, it feels like there's so much to buy on the large retail sites that, you put in something like, cotton shirt. It's like, here are 1,000 different like options for you. There's actually this kind of illusion of choice, because there isn't really as much, there's not a lot of originality in what you're buying. It all gets very samey if you look at it. And if you go to a store that's not in the zone of like these big platforms, that's where you actually get some unique, creative options. So that's kind of a thing that happens too, is that it feels like we've got so much choice, but a lot of really wonderful art and creative clothing and jewelry and things like that, artwork itself, you can't get on the big platforms. You have to go to a smaller one.
Well, I think the value of Etsy and other
Yeah.
platform like that is exactly that. Is that
Yeah.
some people, they do want things that are unique, but if you go into Etsy and yell at the small artisans that is producing something because it can't deliver as fast as Amazon, you're missing the point.
Yeah, and I've actually
That's true.
grabbed a few things on Etsy recently, and I didn't care when it arrived because it was something that there was a different connection to it other than get it here as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a different feeling. Again, you understand that there is not, maybe it's handmade. It takes more time. Maybe they don't have a storage of things ready because it's a small shop, so they do it on request. And if it's going to take a month, don't you want to have something special that take a month? Compare with something that everybody else has, and it's not what makes it unique.
Well, yeah.
Big questions.
That's the other thing. Sorry, Dan, just quickly, because I think there's a potential for just-in-time manufacturing. This article doesn't touch on it, but presumably there are 1,000 options for T-shirts. There's probably, I don't know how many of those thousands of each sitting in multiple distribution centers somewhere, right? How much waste is that? I don't know. Is there value in huge manufacturing of all those things? I don't know how if it's better for the environment to do just in time, where we're not wasting material and production machinery and oil and gas and electricity or whatever it takes to, and obviously human labor. Obviously, we don't want to mess with that, but I don't know, just the impact of mass production versus small runs or one-off just-in-time runs.
But you do have a good point about time delay. And look, I'm just going to get out there and say this. I have purchased a shirt from TaylorSwift.com because, look, I admit it, I'm a Swiftie. And what always strikes me about it.
InfoSec Taylor Swift? Or the real one?
Straight up Taylor Swift.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just going to put it out there. But anyway, what's interesting is that the way it works is that Taylor will say, these are the things that you can buy from whatever record she's promoting at the time. Here's the cardigan for the song Cardigan. And then you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks before they ship your merchandise. And for the cardigan, based on her song Cardigan, the cardigan from Cardigan, that actually took 4 months to get to me. And you just you go in this, and I think that what they're doing, I don't know, because Taylor doesn't check with me on these things, but I think what they're doing is that they create the concept of these are the shirts that you can buy. This is the cardigan, the pop sockets, whatever. And they wait and see who orders it. And then they go out and actually manufacture to the orders. And sure, Taylor Swift is such a big name, and people are willing to wait. But it does kind of raise the question to what you're saying, Sean, is that, okay, maybe 8 weeks is a long time, but if people knew this is better for the environment, here is a shirt you could buy. Once I know you want to buy it, now I'm going to actually light up the resources to generate that shirt and know that I'm going to make the amount of shirts that actually people want. So we don't have, as you were talking about, stuff sitting in distribution centers just growing mold or whatever. So maybe that's how we see that with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's when you cross the line between mass production and custom production, and another value to that. And I'm picturing somebody going into a shop in the middle age of an artist like, I don't know, Verrocchio, and said, do you got anything ready that I can buy now, or do you want it made by, I don't know, Michelangelo, because you're going to wait a few years for that. I'm just saying this is a joke in an extreme, but that's kind of what it is. And you're okay. It add value to the fact that you have to wait 4 months for it. And that said, you being a Swiftie, just okay. I'm gonna digest that one.
She's a great songwriter, but I would say I wouldn't wait for Michelangelo. I would wait for Raphael.
Okay. Well, that's okay. I wouldn't wait for Taylor Swift. I could probably wait for Metallica. Something like
I'll tell you, the shirts are a beautiful soft cotton. I
I'm,
really recommend
I'm
them.
sure. I'm sure. I have a Metallica shirt from a concert that is horrible. I'm not wearing it because it's so, like one of those sandpaper shirts. So if you're
Yeah.
hearing,
I have a DEF CON shirt that's the same.
improve the quality, please, because I'm not
I like my
advertising.
skin too much.
It's a sandpaper alternative.
Exactly. Now, these are great conversation. I'm going to jump into what is left here for my news because I feel like, and I want this to be clear. We absolutely, if you haven't figured out your audience, we do not plan
We're
any
crazy.
of this. We just get on 3 minutes before. That's why we're always late. And each one has a news and we have no idea. But I feel like this one, they all get connected. They were all nicely connected one to the other. And mine, I'm gonna make a joke. Like maybe we want things fast and we want a distribution strategy and method and the ways deliver perfect because we're used to Santa Claus and
Yeah.
he delivers everything in one night. So that's the big mystery of how he does it. Either you believe in Santa or you're religious or no, you'll watch the movies. And there are problems with the sleds here and there. You need a red-nosed reindeer to get on, but he gets it happening. And when the Nightmare Before Christmas, Skellington get in, he can't get it done. And then Santa has to
That's
take
the
over.
original gig economy, right? All the elves.
Exactly. So maybe our expectation is set so high by this, this dude that goes around and helps working all day long, all year long, to produce mass distribution stuff.
there
Now
an
I'm
elf
going to talk
union?
bad about. Yeah, but it should be. No, he's a nice guy, I think. But
Okay.
my news is what NORAD is, right? Sorry, the NORAD.
A NORAD, yes.
Yeah, NORAD. Today I'm more Italian than any other day. So there is
The
NORAD
NORAD is so rad.
Track Santa, and I want to talk a little bit about the history of this because it's kind of cute, and I don't know if you guys know about this one, but you can go online and you can see where Santa is on Google Map and that he's going through the time zone and delivering everything. And it wasn't like this years ago when he started. So the origin story is kind of cool because apparently on December 24th, 1948, the United States Air Force issued a communication claiming that an early warning radar net to the north had detected an unidentified sleigh powered by a reindeer at 14,000 feet heading 180 degrees down. And it pretty much is what the report to make kids believe in Santa Claus by the military, the United States Air Force. And then from there, apparently Sears started making advertising with a phone number that you could call Santa's. And the legend said that the kid did the phone number wrong and he reached this colonel at what it was at the name at the time called Coned, which is where this colonel Harry Shoup answered the phone and he pretended to go with a joke and telling people where Santa Claus was. And then he went to volunteers answering the phone so kids could call in and say, where is Santa? And they will give us like this location. So it's like, oh, it's coming your way and so forth. And then with the internet, we started following that. And
We outsourced it.
it's kind of cool. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Even if either you believe it or not, which I kind of do, it's kind of cool to believe for one night. And again, it doesn't matter what you believe in. It's kind of magical.
So there is a good question. I mean, should we be using, because NORAD is part of the U.S. military, right? Like, does it make? I do. I think it's really sweet and it's nice for kids who want to follow Santa, to be able to see how the technology can be used to, quote, follow Santa. But I guess there is the question of, is that, like, should the government be getting involved with promoting Santa, or is it just a nice thing for kids?
Is that network air gapped from the other? That's the question.
They're protecting Santa.
Hey,
They're offering airspace protection. It's not shut down.
That's a good point. Like, we're announcing where Santa is, which is a privacy risk for Santa.
It is.
There you go.
He can't stop for a coffee break anywhere.
Maybe we need to call our friends from the aerospace village at DEF CON and have a conversation with them and see how that goes. I've spoken, Sean, too, and I'm sure Diana, with many people that work in the military. And I'm just going to make one name of a person that I really, really love, JJ Snow. That I hope if she hears this, she's doing well, and she joins back in the new year, because I love our show so much. And the conversation that we were doing with her was about how the military is for doing good. Nowadays, people that go into the service, they want to help. They don't want to go to war. Nobody want to go to war, or at least they don't. But you want to go in an area where you can help and put a smile and build a well and give a way to make food, and protection come with it. So if the military can put a smile on a kid's face, why not? Maybe we are too rigid about the structure of what it should be. I mean, these guys are humans, and they're unbelievable humans. We know a lot of them in this industry. So that was a big lesson that I learned from JJ when we interviewed her for the first time.
Yeah. Just the fact that in between wars, they're actually investing in infrastructure and training and education and good things for communities where they happen to be stationed. So it's pretty cool.
So I guess that's the answer.
42.
It's always 42.
And by the way, I think a lot of them are just volunteers. They may not even necessarily be military. I mean, it becomes a kind of an organization that it's following this tradition, and it just puts smiles on people, kids' face. It's kind of cute. And again, I don't even feel it's the Santa movie is really not about any kind of religion. I wanted to keep doing that. I mean, Santa itself, it doesn't belong to any. If anything, it belongs to Nordic mythology, but it is an ambassador of except for Bad Santa, Sean. It is an ambassador of the spirit of the season of making a smile on and helping and be there for each other and be together and all of that. That's why I decided to bring it up and leave a very universal message. I think that's the important part of it.
Listen, Bad Santa puts a smile on this kid's face.
There you go. And I feel like modern Santa's a little less stalkery. There's a much bigger emphasis on, he sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows you've been better. Yeah. Whereas I feel like now we've sort of modernized Santa and Santa and Mrs. Claus. Just the whole Santa complex is a little bit kinder and more about believing in warmth and goodness than it is about judging or giving you coal.
Yeah. I agree with that. And there was an article a few days ago about these two actors, a man and a woman that plays Santa and Mrs. Santa, and they do digital, virtual calls with kids and group of kids, and the headline was kind of like that Mrs. Santa is taking the spotlight. So it's actually taking over, and I just love that. I why not? There's always been a Mrs. Santa in the background who knows doing what, and now she's like stepping in, and I just love that.
She's getting it done. Yeah,
I'm sure that's if Santa does what he does is because Mrs. Santa gets stuff in check.
Yeah, that's right. They're a team.
Exactly.
50-50. Yeah.
And them and the Delph. Sean. It's Delph.
Delph.
The Delph on the shelf.
Exactly.
And the drone. I wonder how Santa's use technology.
Drone elves, delivery elves.
Yeah, that's another thing that's changed with the modern Santa is that you see a lot of in the newer specials and shows about Santa. There's a whole lot of technology to enable Santa to get it done in all one night, which I always enjoy the different like conceptual. Like there's one about 2 elves do all the prep work for Santa, so that's how Santa can do it so quickly. Is that they've got all this technology measuring things and figuring out exactly the right angles so that Santa can get in and get out really fast.
It's just a mystery, like, because it is so like overweighted, and how does it go inside the chimney and then get out? But then it goes in and eat cookies. I'm like, well, yeah, of course, come on, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of cookies. But he's an elf, so I don't know. Maybe his metabolism is very different than ours.
Well, you know what? We could finish for once. We have 4 minutes to go for the hour, and I do believe we'll do another recording next week, but this is probably the second last episode of the year. So I don't know. What do we wish for the holiday or for the new year? Really quickly, Diana.
I wish that we won't be talking about COVID next year. Somehow it's going to go to endemic. We've got enough, treatments for it, and that it will not keep messing up plans after next year.
It's a good wish.
You stole mine. Yeah, I think I'll augment that with health and prosperity attached to that same wish that you presented, Diana.
All right. I want to add to that technology, because this is what we talk about on the TechVine, and my wish is that technology is used more and more for good, for society, for the environment, and I think that as I want, of course, like you, this pandemic to end. That's why I'm not visiting my family in Italy right now. Is that maybe we learn a lesson, the lesson that technology is part of our life. It can help. It help kids to learn in school remotely. It help us to be close to each other. I was kidding the other day, like I don't have real friends because everything I do in the past 2 years is on Zoom and StreamYard and everything. But you know what? I have learned that it doesn't need the presence. We are always there, for each other, and even if we're not in person. So maybe there is a redefinition of society, and I don't know. Maybe my wish is that everybody has equal access to it. Kids that can't get to it, and that they haven't been able to follow schools and in contact with friends, maybe because their bandwidth at home didn't allow it, or they didn't have a computer and the technology, that we start thinking of that as part of our life, and again, use it for good. So that's the TechVine thought.
That is the TechVine thought. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And with that, whatever it is, your holidays, non-holidays, we hope you have some relaxing time with family and friends, and
thanks for joining us this year for all these episodes, and best wishes to everybody and their families and friends, and we'll see you one more time before the end of the year.
And for being patient with us as we improvise as we go.
As we figure out what we're doing, and we still don't know.
Right.
We hope we make you think, and we keep you company if you need it, and if not, we're still gonna keep going anyway. We have fun.
Keep each other company.
We're your friends, Marco.
Thank you so much. And if you guys are my friends, my audience, your audience, leave some comments. We like to know that you're there, and you're doing all right. So with that, play the music, Sean.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the TechVine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.